Hey, 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 I am here, streaming. So it's a pleasure to see you. Hello, Mehmet and Telescope. Nice to see you. And Undertale, strong Cyrillic representation. Hey, Mendrinos. And Wolf, hey, nice to see you. I am celebrating the the fact that I have a little streaming badge. I have a streaming badge on Blue Sky. Isn't that cool? That's extremely cool, I think. So yes, strong shout out to Blue Sky. That was very kind. So yes, I am streaming, and yes, we are going to be diving into some test failures because I wanted to share my pain, and pain it absolutely is. I know it's an API, so if you were to, well, you can go click it, but you actually get you can click and go into the stream. I don't think I can, so it's me. But if you try it, I think you'll be able to click, and it will tell you that I'm streaming somehow, and you can click it. Do you want to try it? You can try it and let me know if it works. Yes, so and I think it's something that they're hopefully going to, this at the moment it's an allow list, but they're hopefully going to roll it out much more widely. So I'm testing it and hopefully it works well. So let me know if it does. Go on Blue Sky, check it out. You can check it out, let's see, on here, see if it works. Oh yeah, no, sorry, that PR, the Nitro GraphQL was taking a long time, and I don't know, it just got lost in the list. This is often true of PRs to that module repo. So I'm having some issues with the upgrade to Nitro version 3. So this is something that I've been working on for Nuxt, and there have been lots of changes. We've had times when we've had tests passing, some of them passing. It doesn't look like it here because there's always some failing. Let's see, let's take a, there we go. So here, for example, we had, how many passing? No, none passing on this one. That was a bit more recent. Let's try here, okay. No, that was, yeah, let's try this one. We had some passing at some point, but with every new alpha, things changes. Yeah, that's a really good point, Wolf. With every new alpha, things change, and so we need to update the version of Nuxt, the integration with Nitro, and so on. And at the moment, there are some problems with fetching, and I'll show you what it looks like. So if I run this debug test, which I've created, I'm not doing much. I'm fetching this, and it's throwing an error. Headers are frozen, and this I think is to do with ofetch and servex. So servex has the problem is that the stack trace isn't great here, but we have this native response. We're passing a headers instance in. At some point, headers are frozen. Let's see, where is that coming from? It's probably coming from Nitro or H3. So let's see, H3 maybe, Nitro. Yes. So H3, I think, is setting some values on headers, and this means that it's not. Anyway, it's throwing an error in the test that I think is probably not going to be thrown in real time, but it's a pain, right? Because it's meaning our tests fail. And I want to find out exactly how to reproduce it and if we can reproduce it without Nuxt. So obviously this is, this here is it failing? So using $fetch fails. Now let's use JSON placeholder. Let's just actually, let's try that. And that works. So it's not that it always fails. The issue is internal endpoints. So in this case, we have this endpoint. Actually, we can get rid of this even. So we have this endpoint, which Nux test utils mocks. So we have, let's see, test utils here. And we mock this endpoint. Where do we do it? This is, well, we basically have builds, come on, meta, manifest. Yeah, so we mock it here, for example, and we actually we just do like a local fetch. So let's see if I can reproduce that in the test suite. So without requiring the use of this mocked endpoint. So what we're going to do is we're going to const app is my aim here is to get something that's minimal. So I'm trying to boil it down. This will also, I hope, help us figure out what the issue is. So app.use, we're going to return hello world. Cool. And now I want to const fetch, super fetch is fetch create, and I think, what can I do? I'm going to pass, no, what does it need? It's going to return a, okay, let's try it this way. First, let's see if this is going to work. And we're going to return just, it doesn't matter what we fetch, right? This should work. No, so we want to fetch this. And okay, what is our difference? So fetch is input and init. And we want to use return app fetch new request input init. I think that will work. No? Oh, we have to wrap it in a promise. There we go. Okay, so this is a valid super fetch, and it's working. Right? That's so annoying, isn't it? That's interesting. Maybe I'm solving it. Maybe this is somehow... Let's try, okay, JSON placeholder. And then to match that snapshot. Okay, so it's not ever pulling in. So let's try this instead. So let's have a base URL of test.com. I see. So how about what we want to do is we want, because we do actually want to use the global fetch. So yeah, so we have fetched. Okay, so basically console log input. I want to see what's being passed in. And yeah, we have test.com is coming in there. So it's being added. Actually, so we don't care then about the base URL. What we care about is an input is now, let's try okay, this one we're just going to fetch index. And okay, so what we care about is if input, if type of is string and input. So in this case, we're going to do a local fetch. Otherwise, we're going to return fetch input in it. So now that should have our JSON placeholder because we're using an absolute URL. And I think that's actually what we want to do, right? So, Aussie boy, nice to see you. Cool. Okay. So I feel like this is going in the right direction because this really replaces. Yeah. Ponky, nice to see you too. Okay, so this is what our fetch create should be. Now, I pasted in some like this fetch create base URL, and that was obviously not working. So let's try instead this. Oh, and I think we can make this easier to play around with. Well, this is fine. Okay, so we're going to assign global. Is this what I want? No, this is what I want. Right. I do want the base URL. Okay, but I'm going to pass in, what was the second piece? The fetch. And see if this makes a difference. So it might not. I still have this failing, right? No, that works. Oh, it works because it's fetch, but $ fetch fails. And I'll try global this. Fails with this headers are frozen concept. So now if I pass in now, because we have server fetch from Nitro, I just want to see the type of that. So if I were to go into API and import that, server fetch, what is it? It's got a resource and a context. Interesting. Okay, so we probably need to actually update that. So we want to, I'm going to actually just copy this into here so I can get proper types when I'm writing the code. So let's drop all the those. Okay, so we're importing server fetch from Nitro. Global fetch is server fetch. And global is that fetch is fetch create base URL, and then we want fetch to be input init to promise resolve server fetch new quest input init. Right. Oh. Well, that's weird. Oh, because we need to import fetch. Right, so that's what we want, right? And I wonder, can we use fast request? Is that a thing? We'll just try request for the moment. Okay, so let's add this as our second argument. And we're going to pop it in here, I guess. Add some stuff. I'm going to need to make this template literal, right? Where's the pain? Okay, let's try that. Oh. I think this is actually because we're doing it here. This is what's governing us. It's not the server fetch that's the problem. Let's try and see if we can... Hey, Nico. Nice to see you. How are things at Titan? Okay, so it's actually the fetch client that's the problem. And let's just say creating global fetch. Great, that's fine. Let's just confirm that that's what's happening. Oh, it's not. It already exists. Why? This is weird. Okay, is this because we do something in... No, that's nothing to do with it. Is maybe H3 creating it? I'm not H3 test utils. Maybe Linux test utils is... Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Okay, so this must be the issue. So the problem is not so much, because this was working fine when we were, and maybe our TS expect error is misleading us here, because, okay, so let's just try this a bit. So what we want is, what do we want? So fetch is expecting. So when fetch does what? Input and init. And we've just created when fetch up here. So what are we doing? I think this is something, this is our problem. Rogora, nice to see you, and Gabriel and Flo. Yes, nice to see you all. Emrys, I am not the Ruby on Rails guy. If you mean DH8, well, in fact, I'm not any Ruby on Rails guy. I have coded in Ruby on Rails, but definitely not the guy. So, okay, so I think this is the problem here. We're creating the fetch, and we're doing this from nitro directly. Yes, I'm not THS. I do start with D, but another two initials, DCR, that would be me. So if we say fetch is going to be input init, when fetch input init, still not working because the response is doesn't have a pre-connect. Interesting. Yeah, that's an invalid error, right? So, and I will have to investigate this. This might just be differences between versions of Nitro, which is what we are handling here. Okay, so this is our local fetch. Let's try this. Okay, so let's actually just, oh wait, where is fetch coming from? no, it's not coming from anywhere. This is just using the I wonder if we could make this better by just importing fetch from a fetch. And then rather than using the node fetch that's there. I am having a great day, Emrys. Thank you. Okay, so in this case, let's just overwrite it, okay? Let's see if that changes anything for us. No. Oh, because we don't. Yeah. So instead, let's go into node modules and open up the test utils and see, is this where we're going to do it? No. Maybe here? No. Maybe, what are we looking for? We're looking for the environment. So it's retest environment.mjs. And we're setting up win fetch. We're pulling in this. Let's hope we're not. Okay, let's see if that makes a difference. Yeah, that's not it. But we've excluded it. Let's pull out the let's just do this. Win fetch is fetch. Yes, it's the funky chicken, is what it is. And now we have another error, but that's fine, right? Because we are we're not. All of this is meant to make this similar to a browser fetch, and actually, what we want to do is something like. Let's see if I can do it in an API endpoint. So I wonder if I get fetch, right? Can I do fetch create? No. Create fetch, maybe. I think this is what I want. I just want create fetch, and I can do, what can I do? Defaults, paste URL. That's all I want, right? Okay, let's see if this makes a difference if I use this. So I want to say global this dot fetch is create fetch. Why is it not assignable? Create fetch needs, oh no, this creates a $sign fetch. So what, all I need to do is wrap the request in it. And okay, so let's see if we can reproduce this in our debug, right? So our debug is failing, and why is that? Skip. Okay, so it's passing up here. So let's see if we can handle the fetch. So if we say global this.fetch is, let's paste this in. It's exactly what we created. And then let's just omit this from here. Does that work? No, it doesn't work. Oh, because const fetch is global this.fetch. It's so easy to do a infinite loop, and that works fine. Okay, that is fine. So actually this is a much simpler thing, probably, than I was making it out to be. And it's probably just all about this code here, that this is too complex and it is incorrect. So one is it probably doesn't need to be async. Two, what if we just said if type of input is string, okay, it's turning the URL. Is it this normalized fetch response business? That's probably what it is. Okay, let's just return that directly. I wonder if that's it. Oh, but it's going to pass because we need to run the second test, which is the one that fails. Haha! It works. Would you believe that? So, this is totally a yes. Okay, now let's drop all of this app business. And, yes, perfect. What am I doing? It's complicated, and I'm sorry if I actually haven't explained it that well. I'm upgrading Nuxt to Nitro version 3. There are a lot of changes here, including moving to native request and response objects. And with all of these changes, there are also problems, like differences. Things don't work in exactly the same way, and that's obviously fine. But I need to figure out, are these my problems? Are these changes in Nitro? What's going on? So it seems that this is actually a super simple thing. Well, let's just undo any changes here and directly return it like this. This is going to be a correct response, so it doesn't need to be async. So we can, or it does need to be async, okay. And that means we can drop this. I think what it was doing is it was normalizing them to strings, maybe. But they're not required, right? So this is totally unnecessary. You can drop all of that. Fix return response directly. And let's actually see if the tests pass in here. So Mukhtar or Ahmed, I'm not sure which is your first name, but it could be a lot of things. But the way you debug it is that you can run your app on in Safari, which you can connect via debugger to your iOS device. So if you open up Safari, you should be able to connect it up to your phone, and you should then be able to inspect it. I guess. Or maybe it's just you connect to your phone, but basically that's what you want to do. And then you're going to be able to get the errors, the stack traces, whatever you're looking at. Package.json, what is the name of this thing? Example. Cool, let's see. We're not, by the way, expecting everything to pass here because, interesting. So we are getting still the same error, but only one. Oh no, I think that it was always only one. But I think this is because it's, we're still using Nuxt version 4. in the repo. So, but I think the change that I made will work. I'm very optimistic. Let's hope it works. Okay, so we have, let's make the change here, test utils. And I'll just use file, users, Daniel code, next, test utils. There we go, let's try that. Hey, Jalaluddin. I shouldn't have just gone for everything, right? Because stuff will fail. But, and I also don't know why. It's failing. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so this is a separate thing. I think this is to do with the fact that we're importing Cervix from, let's try Node. That's what we want. Okay, we're down to 26. Is that the same number we had before? Debug is passing, which is fine. We are still getting this. Interesting. Let's just run the debug again and see why we're getting that. The slurping. Oh dear, I didn't actually realize you can hear that. Interesting. We all discover new things in life. Oh, thank you, Wuxie Jam. That's very kind. Let's see. Yeah, that is actually correct. We're still getting this error. Okay, let's run our use fetch tests, because that's what I would expect. We've hopefully fixed or not fixed. Now here we're expecting our method to be default, and it's not. We're getting get, which means that we're not correctly. Why is this? Why has that changed? Feels unrelated. Oh, this is also something I think I can. I commented this out because this was causing a test error, and I wanted to debug it properly. So hopefully that doesn't cause things to fail. Last time doing this through all of the headers errors. So this is good. We also, I think, can drop some more stuff. So I think this particular bug is fixed. Let's check that we managed this to make Next Island work as well. Excellent. And use async data. Does that work too? We'll update the snapshot, because I was testing with JSDOM and it does support transitions. So these, let's revert these changes. Beautiful. So that behavior is working as it did before with Happy DOM. We're going to drop this. We don't need to... Oh, no, I'm not actually sure whether this is needed or not. So we can, I think, this is to do with server code. So we need to see if that is going to just pass or fail. But we have some more runtime tests passing, which is really, really good news because this was not passing for a very long time. So let's let's use the package po.new from here. Great. It's still failing because again, it's not on the latest Nuxt nitro, but it should enable us to proceed here. Okay, so we've got some more tests passing. That's the key thing. And we addressed the JS DOM or the Happy DOM issue that we were facing. So pop all of that in and to fix. Let's just drop this because I feel this was only for JS DOM. It's not needed, and we can add it in later with a proper commit. So fix, use drop, use latest test utils, fetch mop. So where are we up to? We have right, 8 failed, 6 failed, and are any of these? Okay, some of them we can quickly change. Here we have like a status code, and it's not. It should be a status. That's straightforward. Oh, also we run some tests double. So this is actually 6 tests failed across. And it shouldn't be error. Oh, we update all of these. We need to update all of the statuses. And then instead of it being error, it's an HTTP error, I think, which I think we want to change. I don't think error. We don't want this to be an HTTP error because in lots of cases it's just that someone is throwing an error with Nuxt, which is a different thing. Oh, this is failing because it's not. It expects to have some more stuff. The message. Yeah, this is we want to update this. Okay, now what remains to be seen. Okay, let's just update that snapshot. Why am I playing around with this? Okay, we're still failing with the these other changes with suspense, which I suspect are related somehow to our changes in Nuxt test utils. But we need to, like, for example, this get thing, it's all about the fact that we are making some data, we're doing data fetching. And I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why. Like, I'm not sure whether any of these. This is maybe another point. With a long enough running PR like this, things can sometimes change in the main branch and not in your local one. So we have to just confirm that. Come on. So looking for composables, I think. And come on. There we go. What's failing again? No, it's not. It's useFetch that's failing. And it doesn't look like anything has really changed here that should affect this. So this is a regression we need to investigate. Fair enough. Okay, let's just update these. Oh, some of these shouldn't change, right? That shouldn't change, nor should these. Wait, that's we still don't want them to change. I mean, we do want that change, but I think this is to do with a change that was made on the main branch. So we're going to ignore it. Let's see. Test update error snapshots. And then this one, I'm going to stash. And now we're going to merge the main branch in. And see what we've got. Oh, I hate mergers, right? Why? Why does anyone merge? So we need to use roll up and send, and then pop in cervix and test utils. And then here we use the latest fetch. And here we are actually just going to drop JSDOM because it was added earlier on. Let's update some more packages. Okay, now I think we can update our lock file and have a look at some of the other changes. So what else is going on? Oh, right. We changed this to I think we can just directly pull this in. Great. And this one too. Cool. And what's happening in there? Did that not? Why do I have so many? Okay. Here we want to use this behavior. And here we add extensions. And This is super boring, right? It's terrible. And here we want to, I think, this only change that matters is this one. And here, we just need to keep our current change. Actually, it's the same as the new one, so I'm not sure there was a significant difference. In our server, yes, a little bit more. I think, again, the only significant change here is that all of these things end up with .ts extensions. And then in Vite node, we have a small change down here. That looks correct. Current change? Or maybe we just have to add our expect errors. Let's try that. Let's see, we're getting there. We'll accept incoming change, and then we are just going to update the snapshot. And then we should be good. Yeah, it's a joy, isn't it? Cool. We have updated our snapshot, which is changed. Wait a second, what was that change? Cool. Lots of that doesn't seem quite right. But anyway, right, we're going to commit the merge. We are going to push. And let's then run some tests. Okay, so let's run, we just run basic bail 5. So we'll get the first 5 errors and then work through those. Right, okay, I've got a first. We have plenty passing too. That's not to be sniffed at. The plan, by the way, for the test utils is to hopefully make it backwards compatible. So right now, this is basically using the new version of H3 in the runtime. But ideally, we should be able to fully support testing next 2, 3, 4, as well as, without requiring a major version of test utils, ideally, right? Hey, good morning, Kuzu. Or good day, yes, good point. What's the time? It is in the afternoon. Rondolph, what other programming languages have I worked with? So I have worked with PHP and Ruby, Perl. I'm not sure if you consider Bash, but I would like to get into stuff like Rust and Go. What would make someone a good programmer? I think, actually I haven't considered Zig. I don't know why. A good programmer, I think the thing that I would value most, I think, is not sort of specific knowledge of. Actually, that's Visual Basic was the first, or QBasic was the first thing I ever learned. So But I'm not sure whether I'd consider that worth mentioning. But yes, that's true. Is critical thinking and problem solving and trying to use tools that you don't understand to solve problems. I think something along those lines. Okay. Wait a second. What? It's bailing after 3. That's a bit strange. But this is weird. So it's timing out from nested foobar user admin. Okay, let's see if I can reproduce that without the test. So we're just going to build and preview it. And then we're going to, maybe there are, well, let's see what's happening when we go to this page in the browser. It seems to be working fine. So why wouldn't it be working fine in the test? Although it is interesting, if things aren't working in the test, but they are working in production. So let's just try only running this one. pm test run basic. We're just going to go to run that test. Although I guess it's not going to match it. It's looking a little bit like, will that work? It's running. Interesting. So it's timing out. At what point? Because I wouldn't expect that the fetch is actually timing out, because it should get back a string, right? Unless it's timing out on starting the dev server, but then I would have expected more things to fail. No, okay, so here we go. We have this, and in fact it passed. So all of these are fine. So the page is right. So it's timing out in the expect no client errors. So that makes sense, right? But render page is obviously taking a long time. So we're running go to path. We have our timeout, and we're expecting window use next app root full path. Let's run our preview again, if it's still there. And we have root full path, and it is correct. So why would this not be working, right? Seems like it's working fine, right? In actual production, it's not working in the test case. So I mean, this is the sort of thing that you would expect. Let's just bump our timeout to 10 seconds. Should be plenty of time to go to a page. And this page.goto does wait for this root full path business. Let's see if the timeout is sufficient. I doubt it, right? It should be faster, if anything, with Nitro version 3. Why should this take longer? And if this isn't working, what we'll do is actually just pull this out. And it doesn't. So we're going to pull it out and run it manually. So we have this. Where do we get page? Here. Okay. We have get browser. We have our page. And we want to go to URL. This. Actually, let's just await it, right? And expect page evaluate. To match. Inline snapshot. Right, let's try that. Let's see if that does something. Or no, let's await. We promise. We're gonna wait. Let's grab the any errors. So just so we've got any logs, we can see what they might be. So we're going to say expect console logs to equal that, and then we want the root full path to be our inline snapshot. So let's just see what happens now. Okay, we have some console logs. Cool, this is really, really helpful. So oh, for goodness sake. This is so annoying. It's nothing to do with that test. It is all to do with this problem, which is that overriding ignore patterns no longer works. So we have to specifically add this. So when we're building, we need to, now this can't possibly be the solution, but we can solve this. So roll up builds. We need to it's output, right? Output. We need to tell Vite not to use that pattern. So sanitize file path. What is the file path? Okay. So file path. And this is just a cheap hack to make it pass to do remove once nitro support for unignoring public assets. For goodness sake, I can't believe that I was having to. Okay, let's revert those changes and revert those changes and see if this makes a difference. And hopefully it will. No. Did that not work? Oh, maybe. Maybe it still did the same thing. Let's see. Maybe I have to apply it to... Let's try that. No. We still have some console logs. So what? It can't. Why is it doing this? We're specifically saying that we want to sanitize. Oh, this is the whole file path, maybe. So we care about any segment at the beginning of. Let's try that. Is that going to work? And also, that would be fine. No, it wouldn't be fine. Let's just do that. And this is just a file name, but that's probably also why is this not? Do I have another option? Chunk file names, entry file names. We probably, I wonder if we specifically pass file names, matrix, no? So we should just be using the default ones here. So let's see what's being passed. Those all seem to be server. So I wonder if we are actually doing something down below. Yes. Maybe here. What is file names? Okay, I'm just going to hardcode this in. It's a pain, and I want to see what the actual issue is, because this has to be fixed upstream in Nitro. It's not a... Cool. So it's working. Great. That's a nightmare. And I think we should be able to do this here. Hey, thank you. That's really nice of you to say. I mean, I have got to say at the same time that I'm not 100% sure my process is that great, but I mean, I appreciate that. Actually, I have been rewatching Ted Lasso, and so I feel like I should say I appreciate you. That's just, it's feeling like it. I should say that. Okay, I'm going to do another bail because actually I can't wait for the whole 100 tests to run. Let's bail after one and just see what's not passing here. Let's also see if there is a new option in Nitro, because because Booyah and I did talk about this, and it might be that he's already pushed in the types, because we were describing an option to not apply, the ignore pattern. So we would do this. Yeah, there should be another option, which is something like not like no ignore or all files. And yes, I am rewatching in anticipation of the new season, which is coming soon and is very exciting. Okay, let's skip that one. I'm telling you why I was skipping it because I know that one. Or I knew what it looks like. I have to figure out what the problem is. But basically, when you load that page, the header isn't there. So there's a header added in root rules, and it seems to work fine when I build and preview the app myself. But when I run it in the test, it doesn't. So that's a very strange thing, which needs more investigation for sure. We might be able to just fix that issue in Nitro if Booyah hasn't already opened a pull request to address it. I absolutely have watched Peaky Blinders. When did you mention that in this stream? Because I do not remember you saying that. Or anyway. Right, we're looking for. So, who do you think I look like? So, let's try adding the feature then. So, let's see. Public assets should be an array of public asseters. Public asseters should be sort of ignore ignore. Oh, We have a server asset. Where is that used? Oh, server assets. Oh, but it feels like therefore it's that. Okay, so now we are scanning our public asseters, which are here. Sam Claflin. Oh, him! Goodness me, I will absolutely take that compliment. I would never have picked him from Peaky Blinders. As in, I would have picked him from the Hunger Games, right? Or like surely Finnick is a more high-profile character. You can see it. Okay, I'm absolutely coming in for compliments whenever I'm feeling down. This is the place to be, I'll tell you that. Okay, so we're globbing. Okay, include patterns are asset dot ignore. No. This is getting the include patterns. So we just want this basically because it's right, include patterns. Oh, somehow I got rid of it. Okay, so public assets dot. So okay, nitro asset dot ignore. Why is this not typed? Oh. I love Peaky Blinders too. Absolutely love it. It's like, but and really the show turned me on to who is it? This the band that do the song, like it's so good, and I swear it is it's better even than recordings. Like the whatever they've done to the sound of the man with a red right hand, it's amazing. What is it called? The Bad Seeds. What's his name? Nick, not Nick Cage. Nick what in the Bad Seeds? Nick Cave, of course, yes. Nick Cave in the Bad Seeds. So asset dot ignore is false. Hey, Sean, it's been ages. And I've got to say, you have not come to Edinburgh. That's just the reality of the situation. Oh, we do need nitro, right. Come on. Nitro, asset and overrides. And they would basically replace this. Actually, we can just do it like this. There we go. We can drop this. And hey, you have a car. Well, congrats. The world is your oyster, right? I think we would do asset.ignore, and let's do that everywhere. So we have here, we just have to do and then we will, are those the only two places it's used? Yes. So we will say ignore patterns could be string or false. And what we do here is ignore patterns or, there we go. We have to lint and feet asset ignores a BMW. Nice. Feet allow ignoring custom ignore patterns per public assets. Not you. You. Hey, Code with Josh. See you later. Okay. Oh, he's already. Is he already? Okay, now what was happening in our Nuxt test suite, right? Because we wanted this to bail, and we bailed. What? What is that? Is that okay? We're expecting root rules to fail. The page loading end is being triggered more than once. We're getting a 500 when we're accessing the error root, and I love the error. We should definitely have more oh no errors. That's yes. Who put that in there? Julian. Thank you, Julian. That's made my day. Okay. Why does it open a new shell every time okay, so what do we want to do? This shouldn't throw a 500. So this is probably just this is straightforward because I'm expecting it to be related to nitro. So it'll be in our error.ts handler. And somewhere what we're doing here is we are just returning the status. Whereas I think we probably had handling before for if it was 404, which we dropped, I think. So this should be a straightforward. Oh no. Or if data is for a 4. Maybe we didn't have custom handling. So let me just check. We are expecting, oh, no, this is if we're directly accessing next error. No, it's not. Where is the, oh, it is. Okay, so this is not the oh no. That's a separate and unrelated thing. We shouldn't access next error. So where's that happening? We have this. Somewhere we have a test to make sure that this is not a this. Okay, that's what we're expecting. So event runtime. Let's log it. And we have the one we are fetching is this. So let's just run that. Oh, but Sean, seriously, I will be coming back to Durham over Christmas. So if you're around, we should do something. There's almost certainly something we can do. Okay, let's see what's throwing. Let's just see what's happening. Okay, preview. And we're fetching this. Okay, we are getting a page not found. It is a 404. So why is the test not showing that? Okay, let's see what it's actually coming back. So let's just log expect await res text to match inline snapshot, and let's rerun it. Okay. Okay, so we have an error, URL server error. So why is this different in testing as opposed to okay, so what's happening, we're hitting our renderer and maybe this is the thing. So let's just see. Let's try that. Yeah, I'm expecting the port to be different. That's not a problem. Why is it not logging anything? Why would it not hit? Okay, let's see. Are we registering a different... Okay, let's actually just drop this and always log it. And try one more time. Is this, there must be something going on here. We need to be able to see it. We should be able to log stuff, right? What's going on Blue Sky? My live banner is still there. Joy. Happy days. Okay, any logs? No. Let's try this. Let's just return it. Oh no, throw an error. Weird. So it really feels like this isn't landing. But let's just be clearer about it. So, let's just try this. Because let's assume that there's some kind of problem with stringifying the path name, right? Or the event. Get query. Oh, that actually makes sense because the event doesn't have a path name. We're just directly let's try parse query. Event dot URL dot search. And let's just check whether this works. Should be fine, right? So it shouldn't need a search. Try this one more time. If that doesn't work, we'll go back to throwing the error. But I wonder what get query did. So we have get query and parse query. Aha! it sliced it, even though maybe it wasn't defined. But this is now. Oh no, it's still not working. Okay, no, that's not the bug. Nice to see you, Fishy. Yes, things are going well, although I have a problem, which is that my tea is nearly empty and it is cold. So I need to solve that. Whoa, you are, it's nice of you to, to join me that late. Okay, so I want to know if this exists. Event URL dot search to string. And let's even see if we can parse it. Right. While that runs, I think I'm going to go and grab a cup of tea. So I will be back pretty soon. That's good stuff to know, but I'll be back soon. See you in a second. I have returned. The only question is whether we need to wait for fishy to return. But, okay, we have some answers. We have the knowledge that Nuxt runtime is not set, which explains why, what's going on? Which explains why we're not throwing the error. So why is runtime not set? I think at some point this was the, like, Puya told me to do this. So now get query doesn't seem to be, is it deprecated? No. So we can actually just use it. It's fine. It'd be nice if it accepted a generic. Maybe it does. Cool. Okay, so what we want to do, you mean next 5? Okay, now what we want to do is identify why this runtime is not set. So we in our handler here, we are performing an internal fetch, which is this, I think, and we want to somehow figure out why there's no runtime. Maybe, okay, oh no, maybe this is the get stash pop. Maybe it's this. So here we have our template, which is doing the server fetch. And actually, the server fetch from Nitro, let's try this, next config, no, API, hello. Okay, so import server fetch from Nitro. And what we're going to do here is just const value equals, wait, server fetch, we have another one, random. Okay, now I think we have a second option, right? Resource, and then the server request context. No, that's the init. And then the server request context. The server request context, we should have a tea party. Right. I think, well, let's first see what this does. Does this work or fail? Drop that. Let's run this. And I want to, we just do a server fetch. Maybe that's what we do. So in our error page, instead of doing this, we do a server fetch from Nitro, right? And let's see if that makes a difference. Aha, oops. We're going to fix that. Oh, for goodness sake. Let's abandon this change because I don't think it's actually needed to fix this thing, because I think we just use server fetch here and we get the benefit of it. No, it's not quite working, but I think we might be able to pass some context. So what we could do is pass nuxt and internal. Okay. And let's just see if that's defined here. So not event runtime, which is always a event.context.nuxt.internal. Ooh, that would be nice. That sounds so cozy. Ha ha ha! Success. Okay, so we're going to pass this we're going to pass, actually we're going to make it this. And we are going to pass it like this. Cool. Excellent. I think this is all we needed to do to fix that. So we now have our renderer and cool. Great. So now let's drop these things and run our test again. So fix set when performing internal fetch. AI is great, but it's also very very limited. I mean, in its use in a project like Nuxt. So as in terms of writing this kind of code. So we're migrating to a new version of Nitro that doesn't exist in the wild. And in order to understand how to make these changes, you really have to have you have to know more about how Nuxt works under the hood. I mean, I could show you, but it's just not very useful. I find AI is much more useful in other scenarios, but this one in particular, not that useful, I think. Okay, we're passing more. Where did we fail before? We had 70 passed, 3 failed, 2 errors, and that was one of them. And then the page loading end trigger, which would be strange if that were related. Okay, 70. Oh, we're past it. Good. This is more than before. Okay, we got to 81. Hurrah. But this error is unhandled. I don't know if that's that's expected or not. We also have, we have some other things. So, okay, I know about this. So first, let's add a to-do, and let's add the fails. Now let's identify the next one. Should click page loading it only once. Why would that? To page load hook. Okay, let's see what is causing that. Okay, we have that. We're going to do a page load hook. We have exactly the same. Is this the issue? Oh no, this we have to rebuild it. Devon. Whoa. Yeah, that's impressive. Yeah, that is true, Rigora. But I mean, yeah. Okay. So to page load hook, and it triggered it twice. Why did it trigger it twice? And why would that be a difference in an upgrade to nitro? Right? Why should that make any difference at all? So we've made some changes to nitro server. Have we made some changes here? Okay, what is actually being tested? So in page load hook, this is a page for hook tests. Okay. So we have therefore a page load hook slug. Cool. So, and we expect that we register a hook, we log it. And that plugin should only be registered once. Unless page loading end is being called twice, or whether let's try console log registering plugin. And let's see. Okay, so I want to see that registering plugin is called once or twice, and we know that the actual page loading end is being called twice too. Okay, that's fine. But from here, oops. Okay, registering plugin to page load hook. Okay, so it's being called twice. And this is related to the other suspense issues. But I don't understand why suspense is being affected by this upgrade to nitro, unless it's something to do with errors. What else have we changed? So unfortunately, we've changed more than I would like to see. So we are checking an outdated build. We have our cookies. Let's see. Okay, I have to assume that I've made some change in here. Some of these are totally innocuous changes. What about... Okay, I think we can do some changes. We can drop the import of fetch, for example. Okay, we have some SSR changes, which should not make the difference. get root rules might be I am not fixing that bug. Version 3 doesn't have that bug because Nitro version 3 at the moment doesn't have typed roots. So when we implement that for Nux 3, then yes, it should be fixed. Yeah, no, exactly, fishy. That's nice. I am finding this very puzzling. Okay, let's see. Let me just do another test run. And this time, let's pull in all the errors we can get and see if we can identify what they are. We failed last time at 81, but I've marked one test as failing. Let's see if we anywhere... Cool. Okay, so actually removing those imports has solved some issues, because this is going much further. So I may have actually fixed the problem unexpectedly. This is going well. Only 2 failed. Three. Oh, and also the one that we marked as expecting to fail, but believe it or not, I am not using Arc. This is a Zen browser. It's nice. And so far, it doesn't have AI built into the browser, which is all of the rage at the moment in well, I would say tech Twitter, but tech blue sky. Yeah, I would absolutely miss getting my hands dirty as well. In fact, I mean, I have led teams, and honestly, I really enjoy being able to dive in. Okay, yeah, that seems fine. As in, I suspect that. Where is this happening? I suspect there's a lot of the same error, the same cause, this invalid URL. So where are we doing it? We are fetching or is this just Nitro's internal error? I guess. That's interesting. Why is Nitro saying that's an invalid URL? Does server fetch doesn't need to be called with a valid. Oh, we probably don't need a base URL. That's probably what it is. We can probably just directly pull this in. But we have to wait for it to finish so I can verify that this might be the solution to some of those failing tests. Yes. No, if we did throw this would absolutely. My experience is when LLMs are failing, they fail in a very frustrating way. So they fail by giving hope. So you start with hope. There's like this idea that maybe there's a solution, and it sort of very strongly comes back. Oh no, there is a solution. Here's the way we go, and then it stops working, and so I feel like that is very, very frustrating. Very frustrating. I'm not sure this is that. I think that is safe to do, but I'm not actually sure that is the problem. Come on. Why is it taking so long? Okay, thank goodness. We're here. We're here. We have all of the failures, and now we need to find out why. So, much has failed. Okay, lots. And lots have timed out, which is odd. Okay, this is failing simply because think, of our hack to do with the underscore. Now this one, though, is a base URL. So I think that should be fixed when with the change that I just made. So let's confirm that. And let's move to the next one. Then this one should render an island page, full stop. And it's not presumably receiving that request. So I think we can check that in a moment. Oh, this doesn't. Oh, it's a little bit different. Is this what the problem was before? No, oh, this is unrelated, although it does involve a base URL. We should have a base, we have this base URL middleware, and let's just check. Let's try, we'll build it, and then we're going to preview it, and we do need to pass an environment variable in to confirm the behavior. So Rikuma, I am looking at getting Nitro version 3 PR ready to go for Next. It's the first step towards Next 5, really. This is it. Let's try Foo Islands. Okay, so what am I getting? I'm getting a base URL. Whoa, it's infinite looping. That's why they're timing out. Stop. So what's happening is that, oh, probably our base URL, we need to use server fetch. So this did work before, but Nitro changes. So we're going to use server fetch. And so what we are going to do is fetch that. Cool. Let's try that. Exactly. AI is a very, very useful tool. I think a lot of the people who are worried about AI are basically, they don't trust people. Probably rightly, as in that they've had bad experiences. Ooh, it can't find path for. Oh, we'd no longer need this, I think. Okay, let's try that. Yes, this is TypeScript. But I mean, I'm not sure, there's not a lot of the types bit on this. This is just pure JavaScript, I think. So we were loading Foo Islands. And we are fetching that new URL. Oh, I see. Ah, yeah, of course. So what we need to do is detect the internal fetch, and we can do that. We're going to say next internal and just check that. So not okay, let's try that. Ta-da! It worked, baby. Okay, so this is exactly the same thing that we were doing before. In the error page, it's just moving from the previous fetch to server fetch. Great. So let's try again based on what was it? This was our test. Okay, we would just run one. Let's try it again. No, I thought it would. Why? It gave me a 200 there. So why is it giving me a 404 in the test suite? Okay, we try one more time. Yeah, works fine. So why is it giving me a 404 in the test suite? So let's get the text. Yeah. Oh no, it's giving me an error page. Page not found, Foo Islands. I wonder what fetch is doing here. That's coming from next test utils. And I wonder what it's actually fetching. So let's just log it. Try it one more time. I'm wondering basically if it is double prefixing the foo. Like maybe there is, maybe, I mean, that would justifiably return a 404. Whoa. We want to filter it. Ah, I'm running this in the wrong place. Okay. Okay, so what did I want to? I wanted to console log the path. Is that happening? No. Let's try just logging it in our test suite. Was this therapeutic? Well, that is nice for you to say. Hey, Enrique, nice to see you. Okay. So this now is the URL. Oh. Because I'm guaranteed that this will update. Sometimes console logs get hidden. You have to scroll up to find them. So when I have access to the value in the context of the test file, this is a much easier way to do it. So let's just go into my my middleware, because I bet that start server, let's see what it's doing. Oh. It does stop server. And then it opens it again with the process.env that we've passed in, which makes sense. So we've passed in this new env, and so I would expect that this is defined, but maybe it's not. Maybe somehow the base URL isn't being passed in. Okay, here we go. We have a base URL. Yeah, so it is there. And the first time it is not. And then it's there because we restarted the server. I wonder if it's because we are basically immediately restarting the server at the same time. Let's just try testing all of component islands at once. Two failed. Okay. do actually need to do this. As in quite apart from this. Okay, we knew that. And then this also doesn't work. Lost page. Okay, we want to, what are we testing? So should show an error. So we're going to go to our home page and then go to lost page, this one. It worked. I wonder if it's something relating to the timeout. Let's try it again. We had 1 error, 3 failed. Yep. The base URL failed. I wonder if effectively the base URL poisons the others somehow. So if I were to skip that test, I wonder if it would still fail. That's a weird one. Okay, is there any situation in component islands where we create a page and do not close it? I'm just going to skip that and see if these two fail. Now, I also need to check, are there any other bits where we look for event runtime? Dev server only. Interesting. It all passes. So in other words, somehow the environment persists somehow. And also that's why it's not working. Huh. I wonder if it's possible that somehow the old server... No, that can't be. We also still do have an unhandled error, which is... Or is that from the previous run? That's the previous one. Okay. Okay, so it works fine if we skip this. Okay. And base URL. There's probably other scenarios where that base URL is also going to fail. And we need to figure out why, because that was not the case in other situations. And particularly for the component islands, I think this is a good example. I think we should just fix this now. Right. So why is it not working? So we're pulling in use runtime config, which is accurately pulling it in. We have our base URL, which we are putting in here only if runtime base URL is enabled. And why? Why? Now, interesting. I'm so perplexed. So 8 pass. Okay, let's try it this way. So hopefully what we're going to see now is that we should get a list of like the base URL for every request that's coming in. We should be able to track, okay, foo islands should have a base URL, but then the server should restart, and then when we're rendering this page, it should not have a base URL. So that should be what happens. But and this is fine. We're getting all of our assets, which are coming in from a base URL. And now the base URL, interesting, is somehow persisting. Right, that's what's happening. So we're still getting this base URL. So what should happen is maybe we have to do this. Let's try this. If this solves it, I don't understand why. Okay, those all failed in exactly the same way. Let's set it to nothing explicitly. Rigora, what are you interested in seeing come out of experimental? Is there something you're using? Because I'm very amenable to this conversation. I just want to confirm what. So there are different kinds of experimental features. So some of the experimental features are experimental not because they are unstable, but because the API they depend on is in some way experimental. Like unplugin view router is an experimental plugin, according to Eduardo. So we can't possibly enable it on a non-experimental basis in Nuxt, even though it works very well. We have to wait for him to enable it. I mean, this is what's happening. So we still have this it's clearly persisting, and the question is, why is it persisting? No, so typed pages is the example I'm giving. So that is dependent on unplugin view router, and so it's dependent on unplugin view router to enable it. View transition is the tricky thing with view transitions is that they are dependent on this browser feature, and they require code changes. So it changes the behavior of your app because the view transitions by default. I mean, that should just move from experimental into features and still require you to explicitly enable it. But yes, some of those. Oh no, exactly. Sorry about that. Okay. So, Okay, so starting the server again. And we are basically getting this. These are our environment variables. So oh, this should be wrong. We shouldn't be overriding it from context options. We should be overriding it there. But regardless, let's just see what happens. That's a clear bug in test utils. Oh, it's very tricky, isn't it? So I know it's really frustrating. Yes, Aussie boy, it is possible to use Youch. And yeah, it is. It might be even more straightforward than that, but I am going to have to go, actually. I've just realized the time. But it has been loads of fun streaming with you all. Thank you for being here. And we should definitely go and what's happened? We should definitely go and raid this stream. Okay. If you're up for it. No, Daniel wrote a chat. Exactly. Ah. Oh, that's from my test running. Okay, raid VM Mulroy. But yes, thank you very much, everyone, and see you all later. Not so long as it's been for now, but cool. Let's go.